So if you can take one thing away from this podcast, this week, whatever, all the reading and studying you're doing on entrepreneurship, keep it simple. Don't try to change 100 things. Get out there and understand that execution is way more important than your business idea. If you name a business, any industry, I will show you a business where somebody has made $1 million or more. It's not about the idea, it's about the execution. Every time I log into Twitter, look at Product Hunt, look at TechCrunch, or even go and judge a pitch competition here at UGA in Athens, where we listen to entrepreneurs pitch their ideas for money prizes and all that, I notice how overly complicated most entrepreneurs make things. Simplicity wins every time. Execution is what matters. Your ability to make the micro decisions all day, every day. Managing people, sales, how you treat people, what you say, how you respond, all these little decisions that impact our business and our bottom line. Your ability to manage those small decisions is what will set you apart, not the 5 key features that you're trying to differentiate among businesses. I get extra mad at the pitch competitions because the first question from the panel that I'm stuck on is always, how do you expect to differentiate? What makes you different? What makes you better? And every entrepreneur spends all their time and energy thinking about how they might differentiate and what might make them better. So they end up with a business that's different in 5 ways. Oh, we're not just going to be a lawn care company. We're going to be the Uber of lawn care companies. We're going to be on demand. We're going to be next day. We're going to be the cheapest. We're going to have the best technology stack. We're going to have the best technology in our lawnmowers. No, you don't need any of that stuff. When I started my business, my partner and I, when we started our business in 2011, there were 20 companies doing exactly what we wanted to do. We didn't have a new idea. We just looked at all 20 of those companies and we picked little pieces of each of them that we thought were great. Hey, this company does a pretty cool thing with their signups. Oh, this company gives away free boxes. Oh, this company, accepts reservations to the last minute. That's pretty handy. We looked at all the ways that company did business and we just built a Franken business with pieces from all of them. Nothing was different. There's nothing that was different. You look at a business in this town, sitting here, small town, 300,000 people, there's 5 lawn care companies worth over $1 million. There's probably 5 pest control companies where the owner makes over $500,000 a year. Many of them do nothing different. They just block and tackle and execute a business. Digital marketing, management, sales, recruiting, hiring, training. There is no rocket science when it comes to business. There's no secret when it comes to business. So keep it simple. So many entrepreneurs, they find themselves in this big complexity trap where they get down such a rabbit hole of trying to be different that they end up with a product that nobody wants. Why would you do that? There's businesses out here operating all day, every day that make good money that we can look at, we can study, we can mimic. We can do things just a little bit better. Why are we trying to get so complicated? So when I'm sitting at these pitch competitions and I'm listening to these entrepreneurs talk about their new business ideas, all I can think about, all I want to say, I want to stand up and say, keep it simple. Why are you trying to revolutionize 5 parts of this business? Why are you trying to change so much? You don't need to be different. You don't need to change all these things to make really good money. It drives me nuts. The media, maybe these other podcasts, all these things you listen to, all they'll talk to you about is innovation. They'll talk to you about being different. They'll talk to you about being unique and will idolize Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. In reality, Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg are 1 in a million. For every 1 million people trying to start businesses like they started, they succeeded. The odds were terrible. And yes, they revolutionized things. And yes, they're spectacular. And yes, they're worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But why? Why are we trying to do that on such a small scale in our small towns and stacking the deck against ourselves? We don't need to do that. So if you can take one thing away from this podcast, this week, whatever, all the reading and studying you're doing on entrepreneurship, keep it simple. Don't try to change 100 things. Get out there and understand that execution is way more important than your business idea. You don't need to be different. You don't need to have a moat. You don't need to have a differentiator. Block and tackle. Do business how it's always been done, or make things a little bit better. Out execute the other guys by doing things that some companies don't do. The amount of businesses in this world right now that operate like it's 1985 would blow your mind. If you've worked for companies, some of you have worked for companies, I've seen companies that make really good money with total incompetency in the management roles. Systems that are terrible, inefficiencies all over the place, bosses that don't do anything except ask everybody a bunch of questions. The competition isn't that tough out there. If you can do some things better, you can operate really well, block, tackle, do the little things right, do that for a couple of years, in virtually any business, and you're going to do really, really well. This episode of The Sweaty Startup is brought to you by LaunchKits. Visit launchkits.com/sweaty for $50 off a $750 website. So for $700, and they actually turn it around in 7 days as well. So for $700, you get an SEO, search engine optimized website. You get G Suite integration with email and Google My Business optimization, and you get a beautiful website. Visit boltstorage.com. That's my website. Justin and his team built it. They've built over 100 websites for folks who listen to this show. And guys, it's as good as it gets. If you need to get found online, visit launchkits.com/sweaty today.